What is good with you? It's your boy Travis Kinley coming back to you with another one. I am actually in a parking lot where I've actually shot a video in the past. So if you follow my channel, it might be a little loud out here. If you follow my channel, maybe you remember a video about me talking about like company team. It was like the first video I made about company team, just telling you about it, telling you how to qualify for it and things of that nature. I was actually standing right over there. One. I am actually in a parking lot where I've actually shot a video in the past. So if you follow my channel, it might be a little loud out here. If you follow my channel, maybe you remember a video about me talking about like company team. It was like the first video I made about company team, just telling you about it, telling you how to qualify for it and things of that nature. I was actually standing right over there. So pretty cool. I really like this customer. They're very kind people. They're very respectful, very professional. Really appreciate this customer. It's not like a big customer or anything either. It's not like a large chain Walmart or anything. So I just really appreciate this place. Nevertheless, let's get to a video real quick. Okay, so if you also follow my channel, you also know that we have done a weight distribution video in the past where we were sliding tandems. I was giving some general information about weight distribution and how to shift it around. I want to do a part 2 of that real quick before I dock this truck. So it might seem a little bit rushed, but it's also, I don't really feel like I need to go into as much detail because we did the last video. So this one is just building upon that, just like HOS 102 and 103, okay? And if you want information about hours of service, I strongly encourage you to check out my hours of service playlist, but let's get to weight distribution. So if you remember our weight distribution discussion, you remember that weight is distributed upon the axles. The axles you see furthest to the left, we have the steer right there. Then we have 2 drive axles, and back here we have 2 trailer axles. So when we talked about weight distribution, generally speaking, we spoke about how we can only run 80,000 pounds on the vehicle, right? That would be 12 on the steer, 34 on drives, and 34 on trailer. Now somebody's gonna say, oh, but if you check your steers, you know, the tires might say something else and ... Look, I'm giving you general information. I'm not here to get into technicalities, okay? 12 on the steers, 34 on the drives, 34 on the trailer. Just keep it general, keep it simple, and you're not gonna run into a whole lot of DOT eyebrow raising, right? So this is how I work it. In the first weight distribution video, we talked about moving these trailer tandems up here, and this time we're going to talk about the sliding fifth wheel, right? If you don't come from a generation of truckers and you've never had a pickup truck with a fifth wheel on the back, the sliding fifth wheel is definitely something new to you. So we're going to discuss that. In the last video, we talked about every time you slide your trailer tandems, you're moving roughly 250 pounds per hole. Now that depends on the trailer, but again, just talking generally here, okay? You're moving roughly 250 pounds per hole. The further you slide it up, the more weight on the box of the trailer will be sitting on the axle. The further you slide that trailer tandem backwards this way, the more weight of the box of the trailer will be sitting on the drive axle. And if you just kind of look at it and think about these wheels sliding this way, more weight is going to be up here than if you slide the tandems this way. Then if you slide it this way, more weight is going to be pushing down on the drive axle. So now let's talk about, what if you have more weight on the steer axle though, right? Or what if you need more weight on the steer axle? What if the steers and drives is what you need to change, but the trailer, changing that is not going to change your steers? Then what you do is you slide your fifth wheel. The same principle is in effect, okay? The further you move this trailer backwards, the more weight is going to come off of this side. But the further you move this trailer this way, the more weight will be placed on your steer and then be shifted on the actual trailer as a whole. So I'm gonna briefly show you how to slide the fifth wheel. For every notch on the fifth wheel is roughly 500 pounds. It depends on the truck, but it's roughly 500 pounds, okay? This is general, don't just take my word for it. Make sure you actually, you know, research it, get on a scale, and etc. So let me show you. All right, first I'm gonna talk you through it, then I'm gonna show you, and then I need to go dock this truck because I'm about to sit down and edit this video. So they're not actually ready to load me anyway, so what's the rush, right? But sooner I put the truck in dock, sooner I edit the video, sooner I can sit down and play Call of Duty Mobile or something like that. Listen, random plugs in the middle of the video. Listen, if you're not on our driver lineup Mighty Network, you need to get there. Link is in the description. If you have not started following our Driver Hub podcast, you need to get there. The link is in the description. If you feel that this or any of my videos have helped you decide to join Prime, I would love for you to put me down as your referral. My driver code is KINTRA. It is also in the description. If you feel you want to contact me, if you have any questions about Prime, questions about whatever it is that you're doing, questions about this video, my contact information is always in the description, okay? So, when sliding the fifth wheel on your truck, it is almost the same as sliding the tandems. The process is almost the same. Step one, you need to put the landing gear down. You need the trailer not to move, so you need to put the landing gear down, okay? Step two, you need to get in the truck. You need to start the truck. You need to make sure your truck is in neutral, of course, and that both brakes are pulled. Your trailer and your tractor brake are set. They're pulled. They're not supplying air for the vehicle to move. Step, what step number am I on? I don't have a piece of paper. Step three is you are going to need to release your sliding fifth wheel. Let me show you real fast. It's just like the trailer tandems, all right? It's really no big deal. Okay, so this is your sliding fifth wheel. That's your sliding fifth wheel. Your skid plate, here, let me get a little closer. Your skid plate, right? What's touching the actual trailer, your skid plate sits on top of your sliding fifth wheel. Your sliding fifth wheel slides back and forth on this platform. You see this rail, it slides back and forth on this platform. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna get in the truck, start the truck, make sure all air is pushed out, or excuse me, not supplying truck and trailer. Then we're going to push a button that I'll show you in a second that releases your sliding fifth wheel, and then you just same thing as sliding your trailer tandems. You push in the trailer brake supplying air to the truck, and then you slide in whichever direction you want to. Then you set the actual fifth wheel, you supply air to the fifth wheel so that it will lock. Then you do a little, you know, you pull forward, pull backwards, and then make sure it's locked in place, and then that's it. All right, let me show you. All right, so as you see, I dropped the landing gear. What I try to tell people is once you hit the ground, just crank it one or two more times. What you want to do is you want to take pressure off of the actual, can you see that? You want to take pressure off of the actual skid plate right there. So you want to lift a little bit of the trailer up. I also advise you to lower your airbags when you do it. All right, then we get in the truck. You start the truck, of course. As I stated, you want to stop supplying air to the tractor. You want to stop supplying air to the trailer as well, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my airbags. Can you see the picture? It kind of helps a little bit if you just pay attention to the picture. Okay, that looks like it drops airbags. You wouldn't believe it. It's because it drops airbags. So you don't want to drop the airbags, and then the next thing you want to do is just like the trailer, you want to release the pressure. So you're just going to stop the air from flowing that way and release the pressure off of the actual pin on the fifth wheel in this case, and not the trailer. So just like that arrow looks like you're sliding a fifth wheel right here, all you got to do is push it, okay? Once you push that on a Peterbilt, now this is just for Pete's, but you know, the process is the same. It's just the buttons and things are different. Once you push that on a Peterbilt, you're going to notice these two lights are lit on your dash, just informing you that indeed that is what you are doing. And then the next thing you do is all you do is supply the air to your tractor. Boom. You put it in drive or reverse depending on which way you want to move the actual weight, and then you wouldn't guess it, move the actual weight. Okay, hold on real quick. I'm gonna see if I can put my camera somewhere so you can actually see it move. Okay, I'm about to get in the truck and move it. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. If not, you know, tough luck. That's life. right, man, so that's it, really. You know, I'll say the people that I talk to don't really slide fifth wheels all that often. I don't really slide fifth wheels all that often. I think I've been driving for about 9 months now or something, and I've probably done it like one time because I had a load that was really that close. I can't remember exactly. If I still have the scale ticket somewhere in my email, I'll shoot it to you. Like, I'll pop it up on the screen right here. How about that? But I just had a scale ticket that was really that close, and I needed to slide the fifth wheel. Otherwise, you know, you kind of don't slide it too often. I will say this: if you slide the fifth wheel too far forward toward the truck, so your trailer moves toward your tractor, you put yourself at risk of damaging your tractor while doing an extremely tight turn. So you know, if you've never seen a truck or trailer do a really tight turn, I don't know if I have any video clips of one doing it. If you've never seen it happen, what happens is the box of the trailer literally turns at a pretty sharp angle. You're talking, I don't know, you're talking between 45 and 90 degrees, and at times it can be more than 90 degrees, right? So what you do, the corner of the box will actually touch your tractor, or the reefer unit can touch your tractor. I'm not exactly sure what part, you know, I don't see tractors and trailers making turns like all day long to have memorized that, but you put yourself at risk of your tractor being damaged. That fairing, the side fairing, which I'll show you in a second. We'll walk over here and I'll show you. So you want to be careful about, if you're gonna slide your fifth wheel all the way forward, you at least want to be cognizant about that, to ensure, I'm trying to give you the sunlight, but I'm walking this way, to ensure that you're not going to damage your tractor. Other than that, I will say this: I used to drive, I'm just over it now, the whole walking and turning around thing. I used to drive with my fifth wheel slid all the way to the back, right? But a friend of mine was like, man, does that make your ride bumpy at all? Okay, so you can imagine right here, as this box makes a very sharp turn, like your box or your reefer unit, it's either the corner or the reefer unit is actually just it's gonna damage your fairing. So I'm gonna stand back so you can kind of imagine that turning, right? So you just want to be careful about that. Other than that, I used to drive with the fifth wheel slid all the way to the back, and a friend of mine was like, Dang, doesn't that make your ride bouncy, as if you're sitting real far back in a saddle? For those who you may have rode horses or even motorcycles, you kind of get the feeling, not really the same. And when I heard him say that, I realized, man, that does kind of make sense. Well, a couple days later or something, I moved my fifth wheel, and I realized my cab does have a more, you know, when going over bumps and things, it has a more stable and straight ride as the suspension is operating, rather than when my fifth wheel's all the way back, more weight is on the drives and on the steers. My steers are real light, so then when you hit bumps, it's kind of like that, and you're driving and you can actually kind of feel it, you know what I mean? So now I only have my fifth wheel like 2 notches from the back going forward, like 2 or 3, something like that, but I still recognize the difference. One day I'm gonna have somebody just stand, I'm gonna go to the pad or something, have somebody just stand and watch me do a turn and tell me how much more room do I have. You know, I'll slide up one, how much more room do I have? So I want to know what my limit is, what is the boundary. Nevertheless, like I said, you're rarely gonna do this, but you need to know how to do it if you need to know how to do it, right? Shout out to my boy Chris. Yo, we just went through this by phone and he learned how to do it. I'm grateful for that. It helped his load. He was able to roll legally. So that's really about it. Just a quick recap. First step, lower the landing gear. Okay, second step, get in the truck, crank the truck, make sure all air is not being supplied to tractor or trailer. Pull both yellow and red knobs out, right? What I say, third step is drop your airbags. Fourth step is stop the air supply to your actual fifth wheel so it's not locking anymore. Push that button, and then the next step is just slide it in whatever direction that you need and do everything all in reverse. Make sure you do a tug test to ensure that it's locked, and then just inspect it and make sure everything looks good. All right, it's your boy Travis Kinley. Make sure you find you somebody to love. I love y'all. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Don't forget, it's not about what you believe, it's why you believe it, and live free.